Firstly, hello. Hi, how are you? Thank you for coming. Waiting on. How many people faced really bad traffic here? We all did, right? Apparently, there's some fire. So you still made it, and I know some of the people have not been able to make it because of the traffic, and it's already. So I'm very touched that you came here. What Young India wants is less traffic, for one thing, especially for my book launches. But it's something a lot of people think the moment I'm saying wearing a suit and saying okay, what Young India wants, I'll talk about something very deep and like social issues, equality, corruption, justice, things like that. But I'm going to be honest today and tell you what I think Young India wants based on my experiences. I've had a lot of experience with young readers, and also as a motivation speaker, I must have traveled to more than 75 cities across India. So I get a good idea of what Young India wants, the kind of people at least I meet, right? And I've gotten into trouble for saying something like this, but what Young India wants is basically a good job and a really good girlfriend or boyfriend. That's really what most people want. Of course, I'd like to say they want a better country and cleaner system, but that Meri Naukri and Meri Chokri is the biggest driver. And of course, for girls, it's the chokra, and if you are no, of a different orientation, then I mean, I don't want to get into all those politically correct things because I have got into trouble in Delhi by. But I'm just saying that is something which people often ignore. Everybody tries to be morally, upright and say, yo, no, young people want change and young people are very different now, and now they protest and things like that. It's not like that. We see they protest and sometimes they don't protest. So I'm presenting to you a framework which is very important for anybody who works with the youth or the youth themselves, whether it's an activist, filmmaker, writer, anything, must understand. The youth wants their life to be good. They're looking for the good life, they're interested in themselves. And all social issues are connected to this. It's not like socially, I've written about social issues. Someone will say, if they want, all they want is love and job, then why have you written about all these social issues? Because to have a good job, you need a good economy. To have a good job, you need good schools. To have a good job, you need foreign investment to come in. You need good English education so our people can get jobs in global companies. Things like that will lead to this. And to get a good girlfriend or boyfriend or get a romantic partner, you need a lot of individual freedom. So you need people to be allowed to marry whoever they want without any societal pressure that you can marry this person, cannot marry this person, or people to do whatever they want with their free time rather than moral policing that keeps on happening in this country. So those will lead to another range of social issues that come. But unless and until a movement is catering to the core needs of the youth, which is to do well in life, it will not work. And I don't judge it, I don't call it selfish. And if it's selfish, then it's good to be selfish. Because we want young India to be very aspirational, we want them to be very rich. Only then the country will become rich. So in that context, I've written what Young India wants. And today, the kind of panel I have a fashion designer, writer, actor, director, 4 different people in different creative fields. We are not here to discuss politics only, and I've already done that in Delhi, so I don't want to do it here. So we are here to really discuss things which really matter to the youth, not just what sounds good for me to say, because it's nice to say that, let's talk about equality or secularism. Let's talk about what young people really want.
Thank you very much, Chetan. We're going to get more from Chetan and we're going to dig in a little bit more. But do permit us, we've got some special guests out here at the table. I'm going to begin with Masaba, a young, established fashion designer and of course simply growing. The question to you is going to be, Masaba, how does it feel being a young girl out here with an established brand and business? And what do you see the prospects for young India, especially for girls?
Well, I think girls today are far more aware of their surroundings, of what they want to be, who they want to be. They're not easily fooled. They're more practical about what they want in life. I mean, chasing your dream is great, being determined and focused, hard work is great, but at the same time I think they're more practical to their approach of life. And of course, young girls have now realized that if you want to be independent and you want to have, the future of possible freedom at some point, then you need to have the power to earn money. So you see a lot of, housewives who probably never worked, and young girls who get married at the age of 18 and 19, now starting off from their own homes and, doing little businesses just to keep themselves going and to earn that respect. So, as I said, I have a lot of friends who I studied with and who got married in the first semester and quit the course of fashion. But at the same time, I think they didn't ever give up hope that there is hope for them to work out of even a small, like a 500 square feet space. It's just about following what you need and, going what you're after to earn that kind of respect.
Okay. We also have with us another charming young lady in Shehzan. Share with us something about today's youth, the understanding of good looks and the way they present themselves, personally and practically, very physically. So how do they find their appearance important today when they carry themselves?
I think today's youth is, I would say, it is a good thing that everybody, when people go out, you'll find a lot of people, taking pictures and putting it on Twitter and Facebook. We're in the generation of social media and the pictures go everywhere. So everybody does want to be well turned out. That doesn't mean you have to go out with, cakes of makeup or layers or anything like that. But everybody does want to look good on a daily basis. And also, a lot of people for job interviews are looking for people who do speak well, are well turned out, well groomed. So yeah, there is a lot of, I think, a little more emphasis in today's generation on looks, for sure.
Thank you. And we also have with us a very dynamic director in Abhishek. Abhishek, rock on, and of course much to look on to. We also have Kai Poche coming out in Jan 2013, and that's based on 3 mistakes. Well, you have a speciality of following Chetan Bhagat, and your films are quite youth-based on friendship stories. So tell us something about your traction and your interest being very focused on the Indian youth and their relations through your picturization.
As a filmmaker, I'm not really approaching a subject with that in mind. I'm just looking for a good story. I'm looking for good characters to show people on screen. And what I found in 3 mistakes of my life was that Chetan had written a very interesting book. One thing about Chetan's writing is that he writes very simply, and he's telling you a very pertinent story. And he speaks in an English that Indians speak. So he doesn't indulge himself. He's actually engaging the reader in telling them a story. He's actually engaging the reader in telling them a story clearly and efficiently. And what he had written in this particular book is that he got these characters so beautifully down that I could see them come alive. And laced against a factual backdrop, he wrote a fictional story very well entwined into that. And that I found very fascinating because that makes the entire story believable. And he's got a fabulous understanding of what real Middle India is. What Indians are all about. He sees them very clearly, and I could see that in the book. And I've given it my best shot to turn it into a film. And I think Jan should be the time when we see it.